My name is Jacob Marley, and I am dead. Oh no, there is no doubt that I am dead. The register of my burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and by my chief mourner, Ebenezer Scrooge. I am as dead as a doornail. I present him to you, Ebenezer Scrooge, England's most tight-fisted hand at the grindstone. Scrooge, a squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching, covetous old sinner, secret and self-contained and solitary as an oyster. The cold within him freezes his old features, nips his pointed nose, shrivels his cheeks, stiffens his gait, makes his eyes red, his thin lips blue, and speaks out shrewdly in his grating voice. Look at him. Look at him. They owe me money and I will collect. I will have them jailed if I have to. They owe me money and I will collect what is due me. He and I were partners for I don't know how many years. Scrooge was my sole executor, my sole administrator, my sole assign, my sole residuary legatee, my sole friend, and my sole mourner. But Scrooge was not so cut up by the sad event of my death, but he was an excellent man of business on the very day of my funeral, and solemnized it with an undoubted bargain. He gave me a cheap funeral and took the coins from my eyes. He never painted out my name from the window. There it stands on the window above the warehouse door, Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people new to our business call him Scrooge, and sometimes they call him Marley. He answers to both names. It's all the same to him. And it's cheaper than painting in a new sign, isn't it? Nobody has ever stopped him in the street to say, with gladsome looks, "My dear Scrooge, how are you? When will you come to see me?" No beggars implored him to bestow a trifle. No children ever ask him, "What is it o'clock?" No man or woman now or ever in his life not once inquire the way to such and such a place. But what does Scrooge care of any of this? It is the very thing he likes. To edge his way along the crowded paths of life, warning away all human sympathy. The bell tolls, and I must take my leave. You must stay a while with Scrooge, and watch him play out his Scroogey life. It is now the story, the once upon a time. Scrooge is busy in his counting house. Where else? Christmas Eve, and Scrooge is busy in his counting house. It is cold, bleak, biting weather outside, foggy withal, and if you listen closely, you can hear the people in the court go wheezing up and down, beating their hands upon their breasts and stamping their feet upon the pavement stones to warm them. Only 3, and quite dark outside already. It has not been light all this day. Scene 2. What are you doing, Cratchit? Acting cold, are you? Next you'll be asking to replenish your coal from my coal box, won't you? Well, save your breath, Cratchit, unless you're prepared to find employ elsewhere. A Merry Christmas to you, Uncle. God save you. Humbug. Christmas a humbug, Uncle. I'm sure you don't mean that. I do. Merry Christmas. What right do you have to be merry? What reason do you have to be merry? You're poor enough. Come then. What right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough. Ah, humbug. Don't be cross, Uncle. What else can I be, eh? When I live in a world of fools such as this. Merry Christmas. What's Christmas to you but a time of paying bills without any money? A time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer? A time for balancing your books and finding every ledger stacked against you? If I could work my will, every idiot that went about with Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly in his heart. Uncle, nephew, you keep Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine. Keep it, but you don't keep it, Uncle. Let me leave it alone, then. Much good it's ever done you. There are many things from which I have derived good by which I have not profited, I dare say. Christmas among the rest. But I am sure that I have always thought of Christmas time when it comes around as a good time. The only time I know of when men and women seem to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of people below them as if they were really fellow passengers to the grave, and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe it has done me good, and that it will do me good, and I say God bless it. Let me hear another sound from you, and you'll keep your Christmas by losing your situation, Bob Cratchit. You're quite a powerful speaker, sir. I wonder you don't go into Parliament. Don't be angry, Uncle. Come, dine with us tomorrow. I'd rather see myself in hell than see myself with your family. But why? Why? Why did you get married? Because I fell in love. That, sir, is the only thing that you have said to me in your entire life which is even more ridiculous than Merry Christmas. Good afternoon. Nay, Uncle, but you never came to see me before I married. Why give it as a reason for not coming now? Good afternoon, nephew. I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why can we not be friends? Good afternoon. I am sorry with all my heart to find you so resolute. But I have made the trial in homage to Christmas, and I'll keep my Christmas humor to the last. So Merry Christmas, Uncle. Good afternoon, and a Happy New Year. Good afternoon! Uncle, you are the most... No, I shan't. My Christmas humor is intact. God bless you, Uncle. Merry Christmas, Bob Cratchit. Merry Christmas to you, sir, and a very, very happy New Year. Oh, fine, a perfection, just fine. To see the perfect pair of you, husbands with wives and children to support, my clerk there earning 15 shillings a week, and the perfect pair of you talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam. He's impossible. Oh, mind him not, sir. He's getting on in years, and he's alone. He's noticed your visit. I'll wager your visit has warmed him. Him. Uncle Ebenezer Scrooge. Warmed. You are a better Christian than I am, sir. God bless. Can I help you, gentlemen? Scrooge and Marley's, I believe. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley? Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. He died 7 years ago this very night. I have no doubt his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner. Uh, Good afternoon. This will take but a moment, sir. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute, who suffer greatly at the present time. Many thousands are in want of common necessities. Hundreds of thousands are in want of common comfort, sir. Are there no prisons? Plenty of prisons. And aren't the union workhouses still in operation? They are. I wish that I could say that they were not. The treadmill and the poor law are in full vigor, then. Both very busy, sir. Oh, I see. I was afraid, from what you said at first, that something had occurred to stop them from their useful course. I'm glad to hear it. Under impression that they scarcely furnish Christian cheer of mind or body to the multitude, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth. We choose this time because it is a time of all others when want is keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What shall I put you down for, sir? Nothing. You wish to be left anonymous. I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, gentlemen, that is my answer. I help to support the establishments that I have mentioned. They cost enough, and those who are badly off must go there. Many can't go there, and many would rather die. If they would rather die, they had better do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, excuse me, I don't know that. But you might know it. It's not my business. It's enough for a man to understand his own business and not to interfere with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen. But Mr. Scrooge, think of the poor. Take your leave of my offices, sirs, while I am still smiling. Good day, sir. Merry Christmas to you. Yes, a Merry Christmas to both of you. Merry Christmas. What is this? Shh. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's less a time of year for being merry, and more a time of year for being loony, if you ask me. Well, I don't know, sir. Well, there it is, eh? 6? Saved by 6 bells, are you? I must be going home. I hope you have a very, very lovely day tomorrow, sir. You'll be wanting the whole day tomorrow, I suppose. If quite convenient, sir. It's not convenient and it's not fair. If I was to stop half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, I'd be bound. I don't know, sir. And yet you don't think me ill-used when I pay a day's wages for no work. It's only but once a year, a poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. But I suppose you must have the whole day. Be here all the earlier the next morning. I will, sir. I will. I promise you. And, sir, don't say it, Cratchit. But let me wish you a... Don't say it, Cratchit. I warn you. Sir, Cratchit! All right then, sir. Well. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge! Bah! Humbug! Christmas! Bah! Humbug! All right. Scene 3. No light at all. No moon. That is what is at the center of a Christmas Eve. Dead black void. And this is the whole bit where Marty's face appears in his doorway. Humbug! Humbug, I say! Humbug! This is not happening. I will not believe it! Right. Scrooge goes up to his room and he does his whole bit of preparing his cup of ramen noodles on his fireplace hob, and, that's dinner, because he's too cheap to even use money to make himself happy. And this is when Marley appears and does his thing. How now? What do you want of me? Much. Who are you? Ask me who I was. Who were you then? In life I was your business partner, Jacob Marley. I see. Can you sit down? I can. We'll do it then. I shall. You don't believe in me. I don't. Why do you doubt your senses? Because every little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You may be an undigested bit of beef, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grape about you, whatever you are. Humbug! I tell you, humbug! Mercy! Dreadful apparition, mercy! Why do you trouble me so? Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not? I do! I must! But why do spirits such as you walk the earth, and why do they come to me? It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men, and travel far and wide, and if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, and yard by yard. Is its pattern strange to you? Or would you know, you Scrooge, the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full as heavy and long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago. You have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain. Jacob? Oh, Jacob Marley, tell me more. Speak comfort to me, Jacob. I have none to give. Comfort comes from other regions, Ebenezer Scrooge, and is conveyed by other ministers to other kinds of men. A very little more is all that is permitted to me. I cannot rest. I cannot stay. I cannot linger anywhere. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house. Mark me! In life, my spirit never roamed beyond the narrow limits of a changing whole, and weary journeys lie before me. But you were always a good man of business, Jacob. Business! Mankind was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, benevolence were all my business. Hear me, Ebenezer Scrooge. My time is nearly gone. I will, but don't be hard upon me. And don't be flowery, Jacob, pray. How it is that I appear before you in the shape that you can see, I may not tell. I have sat invisible beside you many and many a day. That is no light part of my penance. I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer. You were always a good friend to me, Hanky. You will be haunted by 3 spirits. Would that be the chance and hope that you mentioned, Jacob? It is. I think I'd rather not. Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the paths that I tread. Expect the first one tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. Couldn't I take them all at once and get it over, Jacob? Expect the second on the next night at the same hour. The third upon the next night, when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate. Look to see me no more. Others may, but you may not. And look that for your own sake you remember what has passed between us. Jacob! No, Jacob, don't leave me! I'm frightened! No one here at all. Did I imagine all that? Humbug. I did imagine it. It only happened in my foulest dream mind, didn't it? An undigested bit of boom. Ah! I'm sorry! All right, scene 4. From this point forth, I shall be quite visible to you, but invisible to him. He will feel my presence nevertheless, for unless my senses fail me completely, we are, you and I, witness to the changing of a miser. That one, my partner in life, in business, and in eternity, that one, Scrooge. See him now? He endeavors to pierce the darkness with his ferret eyes. See him now, he listens for the hour. Midnight! But this isn't possible. It was past 2 when I went to bed. An icicle must have gotten into the clock's works. I couldn't have slept through the whole day and far into another night. It isn't possible that anything has happened to the sun, and this is 12 at noon. Night still. Quite normal for the season. Cold. Certainly not noon. I cannot in any way afford to lose my days. Securities come due, promissory notes, interest on investments. These are things that happen in the daylight. Was this a dream? You see, he does not, with faith, believe in me fully, even still. Whatever will it take to turn the faith of a miser from money to men? Another quarter and it'll be 1, and Marley's ghostly friends will come. Where's the chime for 1? 1/4 past? Half past. Quarter to it. Where's the heavy bell for the hour one? This is a game in which I lose my senses. Perhaps if I allow myself another short doze. Doze, Ebenezer. Doze. 12 o'clock strikes. A hand! Who owns it? Hello! Are you the spirit, sir, whose coming was foretold to me? I am. Does he take this to be a vision of his greengrocer? Who, and what are you? I am the ghost of Christmas past. Long past? Your past. May I ask, please, sir, what business you have here with me? Your welfare. Not to sound ungrateful, sir, and really do please understand that I am plenty obliged by your concern, but really, kind spirit, I would have done all the better for my welfare to have been left alone altogether and have slept peacefully through this night. Your reclamation, then. Take heed. My what? Rise. Fly with me. Fly? But I am mortal and cannot fly. Bear but a touch of my hand here, and you shall be upheld in more than this. All right. Scene 5. Good heaven! I was bred in this place. I was a boy here. You see this Scrooge stricken by feeling, conscious of 1,000 odors floating in the air, each one connected with 1,000 thoughts and hopes and joys and care long, long forgotten. This one, this Scrooge, before your very eyes, returns to life among the living. You'd best pay your most careful attention. I would suggest rapt. Your lip is trembling, Mr. Scrooge. And what is that upon your cheek? Upon my cheek? Nothing. A blemish on the skin from the eating of overmuch grease. Nothing. Kind spirit of Christmas past, lead me where you will, but quickly. To be stagnant in this place is for me unbearable. You remember the way? Remember it? I would know it blindfolded. My bridge, my church, my winding river. These are but shadows of things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. Listen! I know these men. I know them. I remember the beauty of their song. But why do you remember it so happily? It is Merry Christmas, they say to one another. What is Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Scrooge? Out upon Merry Christmas, right? What good has Merry Christmas ever done you, Mr. Scrooge? None. None at all. Look you, sir, a school ahead. The schoolroom is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still. I cannot look at him. You must, Mr. Scrooge. You must. It's me. Poor boy. He lived inside his head, all alone. Poor boy. I wish. It's too late. What is the matter? There was a boy singing a Christmas carol outside my door last night. I should like to have given him something, that's all. Come, let us see another Christmas. Look, me again. Older now. Oh, yes. Still alone. Dear brother, I have come to bring you home. Home, little Fan. Yes, home for good and for all. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. And home's like heaven. He spoke so gently to me one dear night when I was going to bed that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home. And he said yes, you should. And he sent me in a coach to bring you. And you're to be a man and never come back here. But first, we are to be together all Christmas long and have the merriest time in the world. You're quite a woman, little Fan.
Bring down Master Scrooge's travel box at once. He is to travel.
Who is that, Ebenezer? Oh, quiet, Fan. It's the schoolmaster himself.
Master Scrooge?
Oh, schoolmaster. I'd like you to meet my little sister Fan, sir. Please, sir.
You are to travel, Master Scrooge.
Yes, sir. I know, sir.
Fan! What's this?
Pardon, sir, but I believe you have been... You've forgotten to say your goodbye to my brother, Ebenezer, who stands still now, awaiting it. Pardon, sir.
Well, then, goodbye, Scrooge.
Well, goodbye, schoolmaster. Oh, my dear little sister Fan. How I loved her. Always a delicate creature, whom a breath might have withered. But she had a large heart. So she had, I won't deny it. She died a woman, and had, as I think, children. One child. True. Your nephew. Yes. Fine, then. We move on, Mr. Scrooge. That warehouse there. Do you know it?
Know it? Wasn't I apprentice there?
We'll have a look. Why, it's old Fezziwig! Bless his heart, it's Fezziwig alive again! Quitting time! Quitting time! Yo-ho, Ebenezer! Dick Wilkins, to be sure, my fellow prentice. Bless my soul, yes, there he is. He was very much attached to me, was Dick. Oh, poor Dick, dear. Yo-ho, my boys, no more work tonight. Christmas Eve, Dick. Christmas, Ebenezer. Hilly-ho, clear away, let's have lots of room here. Hilly-ho, Dick. Cheer up, Ebenezer. Hi-ho, Matthew, fiddle away. Where are my daughters? And the giant party ensues. It was small matter that Fezziwig made these silly folks so great, so full of gratitude. Small? Shh. We are blessed, Ebenezer, truly, to have such a master as Mr. Fezziwig. He is the best, the very absolute best. If I ever own a firm of my own, I shall treat my apprentices with the same dignity and the same grace. We have learned a wonderful lesson from the master, Dick. Ah, that's a fact, Ebenezer. That is a fact. Was it not a small matter, really? He spent only a few pounds of his mortal money on your small party. 3 or 4 pounds, perhaps. Is that so much that he deserves such praise as you and Dick so lavish on him now? It isn't that. It isn't that, Spirit. Fezziwig had the power to make us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. The happiness he gave us is quite as great as if it cost him a fortune. What is the matter? Nothing particular. Something, I think. No, I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now, that's all. My time grows short. Quick. And this is probably my favorite scene in the whole thing, and So descriptive of how Scrooge becomes the way Scrooge is. This whole period with past is, very explanatory of how Scrooge becomes how Scrooge is. Nobody's born the way Scrooge is. This is what Christmas is to him. A dead black void where every miserable thing in the world that ever bad happened to him seems to have happened on Christmas Eve. Sorry, I went into teacher mode. Forgive me. It matters little. To you, very little. Another idol has displaced me. What idol has displaced you? A golden one. This is an even-handed dealing of the world. There is nothing on which it is so hard as poverty, and there is nothing it professes to condemn with such severity as the pursuit of wealth. You fear the world too much. Have I not seen your nobler aspirations fall off one by one until the master passion, gain, engrosses you? Have I not? No. What then? Even if I have grown so much wiser, what then? Have I changed towards you? No. Am I? Our contract is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. You are changed. When it was made, you were another man. I was not another man. I was a boy. Your own feelings tell you that you were not what you are. I am. That which promised happiness when we were one in heart is fraught with misery now that we are two. No! How often and how keenly I have thought this, I will not say. It is enough that I have thought of it and can release you. Don't release me, madam. Have I ever sought release? In words? No, never. In what then? In a changed nature, in an altered spirit, in everything that made my love of any worth or value in your sight. If this had never been between us, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now, a dowerless girl? No. Yes. You think not. I would gladly think otherwise if I could. Heaven knows. But if you were free today, tomorrow, yesterday, can I believe that you would choose me? You who in your very confidence with her weigh everything by gain, or choosing her, do I not know that your repentance and regret would surely follow? I do. And I release you with a full heart for the love of him you once were. Please, 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 you may. The memory of what is past halfway makes me hope you will have pain in this. A very, very brief time, and you will dismiss the memory of it as an unprofitable dream, which may have happened that you awoke. May you be happy in the life that you have chosen for yourself. No! Yourself alone. No! Goodbye, Ebenezer. Don't let her go. Don't be afraid. Go to her. Goodbye. No! You fool! Mindless fool! Loon! Fool. Mindless fool. Loon. Don't say that! Spirit, remove me from this place! I have told you that these were the shadows of the things that have been. They are what they are. Do not blame me, Mr. Scrooge. Remove me! I cannot bear it! Leave me! Take me back! Haunt me no longer! Scrooge must sleep now. He must surrender to the inevitable drowsiness caused by the recognition of what was. The cap he carries is from 10 lives past, his boyhood cap, donned atop a hopeful hairy head, askew perhaps, at an rakish angle, doffed now in honor of regret, perhaps even too heavy to carry in his present state of weak remorse. He sleeps. For him, there's even more trouble ahead. For you, the playhouse tells me that there's hot cider, as should be your anticipation for the Spectre Christmas present and future. For I promise you both. So I pray you, hurry back to your seats, refreshed and ready for a miser to turn his coat of gray into a blazing Christmas holly red. All right, there's a little break in the action of the play here. You guys go get a snack, run to the bathroom, come back, we'll continue. We'll pause here, and then we'll continue in a moment.